Good morning. Occasionally I just get asked to show my face at the videos. Problem is, if I show my face, I'm sort of angled down a bit strangely, and also you don't get enough of the ukulele and the fingering, which is really what I'm all about. So for the rest of this video, I'm going to take my head out of the way and just speak so you can see what I'm actually doing with my hands. Now this is a reworking of Wimoweh, or The Lion Sleeps Tonight, and this is following the Tokens version, which is what Dennis in Canada really wanted me to do. So this video is actually for him, but I'm going to share it with anybody else who wants to see it as well. To get the music, there's tabs and normal music, you email me at colinrtribe@btinternet.com and I will send you a copy. And with me, the first copy you get is free. Thereafter there is a small charge, but not as expensive as some. So I'm starting with this piece, which is just an Acappella, single voice, doing these notes. And repeat it. Now notice when I do this, I'm playing only the one C at the end of the phrase as an open string, because I want to put a bit of vibrato into these, and of course you can get much more control over notes when you play them fretted than when you play open strings. So you get that phrase twice, and then it goes into the rhythmic idea. Lots of voices doing this. So just a simple strum, but my simple strum isn't that simple. I'm going down with the nail of my first finger, up with the nail of my thumb, as if I was holding a plectrum but then threw it away. So, but they're still quite close together. When you look at the music, it just looks, because it says at the top, swing, so this is a swing style. But in fact what you're doing is, so you're putting a little inflection to get the correct sort of sound that you want from it. The end of the phrase of this rhythmic part, instead of just doing the F like that, I'm going to add this one, then the C7 like that. Before I did it like that, and when you do this one, you can do it with a bar and just deaden the top A, but I just want it like that. I don't want the top C to sound, I want that second time through. Okay, so let's just do that one more time. At the end of it, you break from the quavers to go into just a one beat note before you start the tune. Now the difference with the tune here is that you're playing it accompanied. So now you're playing the chords in with it, so you have to leave this idea of playing just fretted notes, so when you get that A is going to be played on there. You could do play it there, but it just doesn't sound as good. Now a little bit of a trick on that final G there. I actually play it with an upstroke with my first finger, but include the rest of the C chord you can have there. Okay. And then put a little strum in after that if you want to. Often I don't write in all the strums that you can place, I just leave it to your musical imagination. Second time through, starting with a higher note. Notice that time I did that one rather than that one. Nice choices to make. And then we go into a lovely effect here where you've got the high voice trying to hold on to that C as long as you can. The way you actually do it is by recycling it when you do the chords. After you've done it like that, this rolls, so you end up playing it with the A finger after all the rest of the notes of the chord have been played, so it actually is the last one you hear, so you remember it. Then when you're playing the chord just with a gentle up and down first finger strum, then it doesn't matter if you play that note again, although it's showed as a tied one, and if you're playing it on a clarinet or singing it, then you go la. Now the next bit is a little bit complex, because what you've got to do in bar 26, the tune is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So you've got to somehow, on the B flat, the first beat of it, you're including that C, so don't worry if you hit it. But then you change to the B flat, then back to the C, adding the fourth finger again. Then you want to bring the fourth finger onto the G there. Then that last little bit of this rate, I want to harmonise this C, unlike we did it right at the beginning. Okay, so just the first finger, upstrokes, but fairly strong ones. Then to that C, then let's do it again. This time, put in that stroke if you want to, this unfurling of the fingers, which is a very nice effect. Then back again to that C7 rather than the C I did in bar 28. Okay, now I use a bit of, just like I did in the version I posted yesterday, where this is an idea that I've used a few times recently. Now, one of the strange things about the ukulele, as all you players know, is the re-entrant tuning. And if you play a melody on the second string and harmonise it with the fourth string, then you're going to get a third above it normally. And so this bit, I'm doing like that. Now, I love this shape of using the finger 3 and 4 when they're on the same fret but a string apart. I use it a lot. There's a lovely tune by Paul Simon, Bookends. Where you get used to using these on 1 and 2, these on 3 and 4, and then this can of course move up. Sometimes, like I did a lot in Coventry Carol, I use that kind of shape, and this one nearly works in some of these. So for instance, then when you're going up to, but if you don't want to be there and then going to there, so if I'm going back to 1 and 2, then I'll pull this back to the 3s. Okay, so and now a slightly awkward one where you have to go all the way up to 10 and 8. Now on this one, because I'm going from 5 back 3 back up to 5, then I'll play it with that shape. But it's one you have to remember when you're doing it all at speed. Then you come back to the 7 and 6. But this time you don't use that one because you're going back to the 1 and 2. Okay, and then you get a nice bar, you repeat that section, and then this was the bit that Dennis really wanted. It's played on a clarinet with a vocal line going with it as well. You can play this most effectively if you've got 15 frets on your ukulele. But starting with this first bit, now this is a bit of stretch. I'm playing this on a concert, but even on a soprano it's much easier. But you should be able to reach it. You're holding a bar at the 5th. But that's the little phrase. I mean, there would be a simpler way of doing it, where you play it, but you end up with not being able to play that low B flat, and besides which, it is the height of the note that you want. If you just want to play as a solo, those would be the notes: 12, 10, 8, 12, 10, 8, 10. But this way, because you want to keep this harmonizing chord, go to there. Now this one is going up an arpeggio in B flat, starting on that B flat, then adding the D, adding the F, and then going back up to the B flat with a chord like that, which you might not have done. If you've got a 12th fret, you can sort of bend that down from the 10 up to the 12, or sometimes just playing above the 12th fret will give you something like a note. Then back to this. Then the second time you're going into the stratosphere, as one of my friends calls it, where you can play 8, 10. Quite easy to recognise on this uke because actually it joins at the 15th. Then back to this. Second time, I'm doing that one because I want to go back to the main melody. Now notice this time from bar 49, I'm going to put a few extra strums in. Now I've taken a bit of a liberty in this one. This is roughly what the voice does at bar 57. But then when I was playing around with this last night after I'd finished recording, I remember this lovely little on the C7 chord. So I've put that in here. And then you go back to this. Then the ending is one of these fading out ones. So obviously, so as not to disturb the sleeping lion. So I hope you enjoy this, especially Dennis in Canada and anybody else who watches it. And remember, if you want the music, then just email. It'll tell you how to do that, and the address on the description underneath the YouTube video. Thanks for paying attention.